football is dying, everybody, because we, as English football fans, are seeing a richer league coming by players that we want to see play in our league and taking them away from us because they have more money, meaning we can't see them in our league.
It's outrageous, Ross. Tottenham Hotspur, they wanted Kylian Mbappe. They're not going to get him, are they?
They should have had him.
Chelsea, no. Arsenal, no. Liverpool, no.
Manchester United, they wanted him as well, apparently. But no. Some rich arseholes come along and take Kylian Mbappe away from us. I'm being hypocritical on purpose, everybody. Please put your pitchforks down. We're having a bitter taste of our own medicine here today.
A little bit.
Even though he was never going to come over here to England, he was always going to go to Real Madrid, if anywhere in Europe, it felt like. But Kylian Mbappe is going to he's got the chance to go over to Saudi Arabia. Fabrizio Romano has been on top of this one today. The biggest fee ever in football history has been agreed. The biggest salary ever in football history has been proposed. Al Hilal over in Saudi Arabia have submitted the world record proposal, which, as just before we came in here to shoot this video, PSG have accepted, and now Al Hilal have permission to speak to Kylian Mbappe. 300 million euros offered in paper, according to Fabrizio Romano, which I don't know if that's just a rough translation for him, but does that literally mean like suitcase?
I'd imagine it's a briefcase just full of cash, Ross.
It's terrifying, which roughly translates to £259 million, 700 million euros offered in wages on a 1-year deal, which breaks down to over the course of the year.
This is insane.
58.33 million euros a month. It's 13.3 million euros a week, 1.9 million euros a day, 79,900 euros an hour, 1,300. I'm not going to start crying in a second. 1,332 euros a minute, 22 euros a second.
Tell you what, Ross, if me or you are ever lucky enough to have a kid, he's going to be a professional footballer, or she. Because I tell you what, the money being battered around here is ridiculous.
You know what the worst thing about it all is, though?
Go on.
It's tax-free.
Oh,
over in Saudi Arabia,
it is.
It's tax-free.
When you look at like the rumours Henderson wages, what he's getting offered in Saudi Arabia, then a player like Mbappe, it is going to be like double, triple, quadruple of what Henderson would be getting.
Henderson was 700,000 a week.
It turned out to be a measly 350 grand a week, Ross.
So this is 13.3 million euros a week in comparison. Just to compare, and in terms of, as you say, their skill factor, all that sort of stuff, that's probably worth it for Jordan. If Jordan Henderson's there on that, Mbappe is 13.3 million euros a week.
Yeah,
as harsh and as horrible as that is to say,
it's saddening. It's sick.
But apparently now PSG are going to wait for bids from European clubs as well over the coming weeks. So they now believe that this is going to kick Real Madrid up the arse, who PSG believed had a verbal agreement with Kylian Mbappe either go there this summer for a transfer fee or for free next summer.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's perfect for all parties, really.
Which one? The Al Hilal one?
Yeah. The Mbappe to Al Hilal, the Saudi League, what their movement they're doing here, they're trying to get the World Cup, aren't they, to Saudi Arabia? So this gives them they got Ronaldo one team, Benzema somewhere else. They'll have Mbappe at this team, Jordan Henderson at another team. They're all equally level in terms of football skills and ability. So yeah, it's going to be good for their league, getting a big poster boy for one of the other teams, and it's perfect for him because it's 1 year. And then he gets his dream move to Madrid.
Ooh. It's sickening, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's ridiculous, and football is. It is slowly dying, isn't it, Ross?
You mentioned Ronaldo, though, because he warned us a couple of weeks ago in that interview he did where he said that the Saudi League will be within the top 5 leagues in the world in a very short space of time. And you may think that if Mbappe actually does go there, because as we're sat here, there's still a chance he could just go, no, as the French like to say.
But did you listen to what you were saying before? Like €22 a second?
Yeah, no, but like how much money is too much money? How much money is enough money for Kylian Mbappe? Because if he went to Madrid, surely he's going to get, if it's on a free transfer next year, surely he's pushing $500,000 a week. If it's on a transfer fee basis this summer, maybe a little bit less. We know how free transfers where you get more wages.
If he goes to Madrid, he's getting more than $500,000 a week.
That's enough.
Of course,
that's enough money.
Of course, it is.
You don't need, what was it, €22 a second, 1,332 euros a minute.
I mean, he's already a multimillionaire, so he doesn't really need. I mean, he could live off that for the rest of his life, and he's only 23.
24.
24.
25
so
in December.
I think he's set for life already, Ross. So money isn't really the issue here, but he obviously. him and PSG, they've backed themselves into a corner here with the whole situation, which started last summer, when he basically became the director of football, basically ran the entire club, had a say in transfers and managers. So they've given him all the ability to demand what he wants, and now he's demanding to leave, basically.
Yeah.
So he's worked at, I mean, he'd be a great politician as a wrestler, like backstage, working all the boys. He's done a fantastic job here working PSG to get himself out the door. Obviously, he wanted to go to Madrid this season, I've got no doubt. But because PSG are basically putting a stop to that, one season in Saudi, get paid a ridiculous amount of money, and then he gets his move next season.
Will that make you watch the Saudi league?
No.
Me neither.
No,
I was thinking back to when Ronaldo and Messi were like at their pomp in La Liga.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think back, like how many times did I sit down a season and watch like purposefully sit down and watch a Real Madrid or Barcelona game, and I reckon it was about 3.
Yeah, well, El Clasico.
El Clasico both times,
that's
and
about
maybe
it.
when they played Atletico Madrid each side or whatever. But you never really found yourself sat down, unless you were just a massive fan of Liga, which of course there will be people out there who were. You never found yourself sitting down to just watch the league because those two players are there. So it makes me think there's obviously going to be a lot of intrigue from like more casual football fans.
That's
I think
what it'll be. There'll be
the
a big
FIFA
intrigue.
generation.
Exactly, there'll be a big intrigue factor of just like seeing these. It is a bit like. It is a bit like FIFA Ultimate Team or EA Sports FC Ultimate Team, when you should start saying
with their mangled
faces.
faces.
It now, yeah. Oh, let's not get onto that. But yeah, like all these teams are just being like put together on paper, and like no one's played together. Like so, the players he's got at the minute, I think the star signings this summer are Ruben Neves, Koulibaly, and who's just signed from Napoli, the centre mid, Savic, is it?
Oh, Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, so those three are already
That's
there.
at Al Hilal.
Yeah. So
I thought it was one that had Mendy.
No, I don't believe so.
Have I got that mixed up with somebody else?
Possible, unless I'm getting this mixed up.
Let me have a look.
Let's fact check
Al
now.
Hilal. Just speak some words while I'm going.
So
on.
yeah, so if that is the team, he's joining they've all joined this summer, but it's all like a mixed match because no one's played together. So there's going to be the curiosity factor of how are these stars going to like gel together and combine. But
It is one with Koulibaly.
it is Koulibaly.
Who else is there? I'm trying to see if I can recognise some names.
Koulibaly, Ruben Neves.
Ruben Neves is
and
there.
Savic.
Milinkovic-Savic and
Not
Michael,
sure.
a left winger from Brazil.
Oh.
Musa Marega's there.
Oh
Is that the
my
one who used to play for West Ham back in the day?
Maybe.
Sounds like it. Anyway,
But anyway, yeah. So there's the curiosity factor this season, but I do feel like compared to like we had money in the Chinese leagues and the Russian leagues in years gone by, but I think the Saudi league, because their goal is to hold a World Cup, and I feel like they're going to keep the momentum going in future seasons. So while Mbappe might be there for one and done, I do think the Saudi league's probably here to stay, which worries me as a Liverpool fan. They're taking Mbappe with 1 year to go on his contract. Mo Salah next season will have 1 year to go on his contract. Players
he might
that
as well
caliber.
just join a Saudi club now.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the money being banded around, it's hard to say no for some of these players. Obviously, you can get into the moral aspect of it, which is a whole other debate as well, but purely on football in terms and in football level, you think that the level wouldn't be anywhere near the Premier League or Ligue 1 or La Liga
Or League One.
or League 1. But we'll have to see. At the minute, we're just all waiting to see what happens when it all kicks off.
Yeah, there's still a chance, obviously, he could say no, which as European football fans, I think we're crossing all the fingers.
Where would you like him to go if he were to say no?
Oh, Real Madrid. Galactico, isn't he? He's a full-on Galactico. I mean, obviously, I'd love to see him in the Premier League, but I don't know who can afford him.
It's Man City or no one, really.
Yeah, you would think so.
Ironically, Man City, the only team not linked with them.
Yeah, well, they've got Haaland, haven't they?
Sure, yeah, they don't.
Too many cooks spoil that particular broth, don't they? What was I going to say, though? But the Saudi thing in football, I think it's FIFA need to step in. And I was saying that Saudi Arabia want to host a FIFA World Cup, which means FIFA might not step in because they want all eyes on Saudi Arabia, maybe, because that's where all the money is. More money for FIFA, more money for Infantino and all those crooks at the top level of the game. But there's got to be a place where they can step in and put some legislation in where Saudi Arabian clubs can't get away with what they're getting away with. Saudi Arabia, their influence on sport, I think it's something that we just have to get used to now in terms of football, in terms of golf, in terms of tennis, in terms of boxing. I'm sure there'll be more sports coming in the future. But in terms of them having a blank check while the rest of, especially European clubs at the top level, have to abide by FFP, it puts all of us at a distinct disadvantage and just allows them to do whatever they want to do. And that can't be right.
Let me just run down the world record transfers, Ross. So, Ousmane Dembele to Barcelona. from Dortmund, 136 million. Coutinho to Barcelona, 146 million. Mbappe to PSG, 166 million. So he's already been the record transfer at one time. Neymar to PSG, also 198 million. This is ridiculously nearly 260 million pounds. These are all pounds. So euros, 300 million euros. It's not only beating the record, it's absolutely smashing it out of the water.
But it is Mbappe though. He is that level. He is the poster boy of football.
Of course, but then we're talking about like the ridiculous, like the riches that they've got, and you know, FFP isn't an issue in Saudi Arabia.
It needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, like you said, legislation needs to come in. But it's almost like they're getting everyone in the door now, and then in the future they'll be working on grassroots elements rather than now. Now they're getting the star names in, and then by the time legislation does come into it, they might be focusing on the young.
I don't believe that for a second. I just think every single summer now it's going to be the same case.
Who's
going to go to Saudi Arabia? It's going to be the big discussion at the June every year when contracts are coming up and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be who's going to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And I know it's weird for me to be sat here as a Newcastle fan. Obviously, the Saudi influence has largely benefited Newcastle over the past 18 months, but still Newcastle have to abide by the thing that all these Saudi clubs don't have to abide by, which is where my issue is. And that's the thing that's going to kill football over here in Europe if they don't stop it. It's a bitter pill to swallow. We're hypocrites over here in England. We've had it all our own way for the past 30 years with the Premier League and all the riches involved in that. We can see why the Super League, they wanted it to happen like your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas. They didn't get that to happen, and now a different thing is going to ruin football once and for all.
It's a Saudi Arabian Super League, essentially.
It is the Saudi Arabian Super League. It's interesting to see what it'll be in 5 years' time.
Yeah, I had on Twitch this past week, someone in the chat asked me, do you think in the next 5 years will UEFA allow Saudi Arabian teams in the Champions League?
Yeah.
Yeah,
money talks.
Probably, yeah. And at the end of the day, it is all about money, isn't it?
UEFA are just as crooked as we saw with the Platini days and whatnot as FIFA are. So you can fully well see, especially, I know they've got some sort of like the Champions League format over there, haven't they? So if the winner of that one maybe could get into the Champions League, if they get the chance to do that, I think they're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes you sick. And the more players that go there, the bigger chance that is to happen.
And it's like there's new stories every day. We've had Mitrovic, the Fulham saga, Henderson and Fabinho haven't actually gone over there yet. Mbappe came out of the blue this morning, didn't it?
Yep.
So there's still, a month to go of the summer transfer?
What we need
2 months to go.
Is just for people to realise that all the money in the world does not bring you happiness. Some money, Kylian Mbappe making a fair whack at PSG. That's enough money, Kylian.
Just a fair whack at it.
You don't need the rest of it. How many cars do you need? How big does your house need to be? You make a stand that other people around you will follow you. That's what we need to happen. We need one of these big world superstars. Come and try and buy Haaland. Haaland's on like 900 grand a week, whatever it is at Manchester City. When he threw out all his boot deals and whatnot.
It's a pittance to them.
Exactly. If he says no, the rest will follow. That's what we need to happen. Anyway, let us know what you think about football dying over here in Europe in the comment section down below. It's time for us to eat some humble pie. I normally like pie, but I don't like the taste of this one.
I'm a bit full, Ross, anyway, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a bit full.
Football's ruined. Goodbye, everybody. We're going to cry in a corner.